Namaste, Hamesha Khush Raho Bitiya. My name is Manisha Singh. Today I am teaching you cleaning and sanitation, different types of cleaning and sanitizing agents. Now let's start with the topic. First of all, the cleaning. Cleaning is a process of removing the food and other types of soils from the surface, which as such as utensils, equipments used in dairy and food industries, etc. Cleaning is accomplished using a cleaning agent that removes food, soil, rust stains, minerals or other deposits. The right cleaning agent must be selected because not all can be used on food contact surfaces. Sanitation of a food material. First of all, a food contact surface is defined as a surface of equipment or utensil with which food normally comes into the contact, or a surface of equipment or a utensil from which food may drain, drip, or splash into a food or onto a surface normally in contact with the food. Sanitation of a food processing plant involves keeping product contact surfaces of utensils and equipments clean and sterile. Clothing, air packing materials, and product non-contact surfaces of equipment, floors, walls, and ceilings must be sanitized to minimize the contamination of the products from these sources. The bodies, particularly the hands of employees, are also the source of contamination. Therefore, high standards of personal health and cleanliness must be insisted upon. Moisture and heat contribute to the microbiological insanitation of both product and environment. Moisture on product contact surfaces and in products provides a medium through which nutrients become available to microorganisms and in which microorganisms may find other conditions suitable to their life processes. The physiological processes of viable microorganisms can adversely affect the safety and quality of milk and milk products. Then types of the soil. The types of soil which the dairy processing industry must remove from its equipment are as follows: liquid milk films, air dried films, heat precipitated films, heat hardened films, milkstone, and miscellaneous foreign matter. Microorganisms are not included separately here as a type of soil is to be removed. Any viable microorganisms in the dairy processing equipment constitute a distinct danger, such as microorganisms must be destroyed by proper sterilization or removed. Otherwise, the sanitizing process is incomplete. Viable microorganisms should therefore be added to this list. Cleaning or sanitizing product contact surfaces or dairy apparatus, utensils, and equipment involves washing or cleaning and sterilizing. Sanitizing includes both. Care must be taken to protect the surfaces under from undue wear, erosion, or corrosion, which shorten their useful life. Soluble soil will dissolve and carried out in rinse or wash water. Insoluble soil components may have to be treated with a chemical detergent to make them soluble or to soften them so they are more easily removed. Next is sanitizing material. Number one is water. As a solvent, water carries both dissolved materials in solution and suspended materials, including soil components. Water serves as a means of applying physical force during rinsing, surging, and jetting. It is the minimum through which heat is applied during cleaning. The physical, chemical, and microbiological properties of the water supply are important when used for sanitation of the dairy processing plant. Heat is important in cleaning and sterilizing dairy equipment. It increases both the speed of the chemical actions and dissolving capacity and solute holding capacity of the water. If present in sufficient quantities, heat can destroy the viability of microorganisms. In hand washing procedures, the amount of heat must be rigidly limited to prevent discomfort or injury to the worker's hand. In mechanical washing procedures, more heat is used. Its use must be controlled. However, how to assure that cleaning is not made more difficult by hardening any soil on the product contact surface and that the equipment surface or surface materials are not damaged. The cleaning solution is warmed or heated with steam. Steam can be used either to heat product contact surfaces so they dry quickly after washing or to sterilize such surfaces. A jet of steam is sometimes used to provide physical force surge and mix washing solutions in addition to heating them. Chemicals are used in sanitation procedures for the two principal reasons. Number one is to change the soil so as chemically to soften, disperse, and dissolve it, and to destroy the viability of microorganisms. These chemicals are either detergent or sterilants. Then detergents. Detergents include the soaps, inorganic alkaline materials, acids, organic surfaces, active or wetting agents, chelating chemicals, sequestering agents, sterilants, emulsifiers, colloids, abrasives, and inhibitors. The detergents to be used are selected according to the type of soil to be removed, the characteristics of the materials of which the soil surface is made, the cleaning facilities and procedures to be employed, the characteristics of water, and the cost of the detergents. Next is soaps. Soaps are used mainly for washing clothes, floors, walls, and windows, and they are not suitable for product contact surfaces because they leave a film which is difficult to remove and which may leave undesirable flavors of odors and which are absorbed by the material or the product. Mild soaps are excellent for washing hands and should always be available in the milk processing plants for this purpose. Next is alkaline detergents. These are the generally available and economical. They more common of these are sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, soda ash, sodium sesquicarbonate, and trisodium phosphate. Others have more recently come into use for specialized cleaning purposes. Two of these are sodium metasilicate and sodium hexametaphosphate. Next is acids. Acids have come into increasing use as dairy detergents. They are generally used in weak solutions of about 0.1% or slightly more. Those more commonly used are phosphoric and nitric acid. Next is surface active agents. Surface active agents are those which include such materials as sodium alkyl sulfates and quaternary ammonium compounds. These materials help a detergent solution at surfaces or interfaces to spread the solution and to penetrate the soil. The penetration of the soil carries the detergent not only into the soil but also to the equipment surface beneath the soil. While both these actions assist the cleaning process, the later is particularly important for it is the equipment surface that must be cleaned, and these materials may also assist in stabilizing dispersants and emulsions, helping to keep particles of undissolved soil once that the soil is physically removed from the equipment surfaces from settling out and returning to the surface during cleaning. The wetting property of a material can be illustrated by placing a drop of petrol in the palm of the open band. The petrol instantly spreads over a portion of the palm surface. In contrast, a drop of water similarly placed in the hand will usually remain as a high compact drop drawn by its own surface tensions as it is repulsed by the naturally oily conditions of the skin surface. Next is chelating agents. These are used along with other detergents, especially in the hard water. They react with metallic ions, in particularly iron and copper, to form soluble compounds. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, EDTA, and its sodium salts are frequently used as a chelating agents. And chelation can be thought of as a selective form of sequestration. The action of sequestering agents is similar to chelators, but involves a greater variety of ions, including heavy metals and earth alkalis. Polyphosphates are often included in dairy detergent formula for their sequestering properties. Next is emulsifiers. Emulsifiers strengthen the ability of the solution to uphold the unsaponified fat, which may be released from the product contact surface during the cleaning process. Materials which are suspended and emulsified pass out readily with the wash or rinse water. Next is abrasives. These are irregular hard particles of sand, pumice used for grinding, abrading, or polishing. They might be included in a detergent mixture for very special uses such as cleaning floors or walls, unless properly selected. Especially for particle size and properly used, they will each and abrade most surfaces, making many of them more difficult to clean properly thereafter. This action is particularly undesirable on a product contact surfaces. Then heat in sanitation. In sterilizing equipment, heat is applied by using hot air, hot water, or steam. Some laboratory apparatus can be sterilized in a hot air dryer, and the exposure recommended is 160 degrees Celsius for 2 hours or more. This procedure is not common for utensils and equipment used in the procurement, processing, packaging, and storage of dairy products because the thermal death point of microorganisms found in milk and milk products and dairy equipment and their ability to survive high temperatures. Surfaces should be exposed to water hot enough To maintain a surface temperature in excess of 85 degrees Celsius for at least 5 minutes. If a higher degree of sterility is required, steam must be instead of a hot water. The nutrient media and certain other materials used in microbiological tests of milk and milk products must be heated with steam in an autoclave up to 121 degrees Celsius for at least 20 minutes. This requires 1.055 kilograms centimeter square grams of steam pressure. Milk lines should be heated to 112 degrees Celsius, requiring about 0.5 kilograms per centimeter square of steam pressures in the lines. Steam can be applied by directing steam into the equipment long enough for product contact surfaces to be heated at least 100 degrees Celsius, where it is possible to check the temperature of the condensate flowing through from a piece of closed equipment into which steam flows. Sterility in the considered complete when the condensate temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Next is sanitizing equipment. The bare hand is perhaps the oldest tool or a piece of equipment used in a washing procedures, but its use is increasingly limited in modern dairy plant sanitation. A piece of cloth held in the hand may be used for washing. However, the cloth can be a source of microbiological contamination or of odors. These preclude its use. Brushes are commonly used in dairy cleaning operations to apply physical force to surfaces, particularly to the corners not easily reached. Their bristles physically remove particles of soil which otherwise might remain. The composition of the cleaning solution and the temperature at which it is used, as well as the shape and size of the item being cleaned, are some of the factors involved in selecting the right brush. If a brush is not properly selected or used, its bristles might abrade equipment surfaces, or it may prove of no use in the cleaning procedure. Scoring pads, that is pads are wads of shavings or shreds of metal or plastic, are not regularly used in dairy plant cleaning but can be useful for specific purposes. Such pads must be used cautiously, for they can badly damage a finely polished product contact surface. Movement of solution during the washing process, if rapid enough, can provide effective physical force through a small opening or jet. Such force is very effective. The surging of solution helps to keep freed soil particles in suspension, so they are removed with the washing solution. This action also facilitates dissolution of any soluble materials present. Water or washing solution is often applied in a high speed stream produced by forcing the material through a small opening or jet. Such force is very effective in dislodging the materials adhering to the surfaces. The pressure on the washing solution to the diameter of the jet orifice, the distance from the tip of the jet to the surface being cleaned, the extent to which the jet stream is diverted and dissipated by any liquid through which it must flow, and other factors determine the effectiveness of the jet stream as a physical force in cleaning operations. Smaller items of equipments are usually washed or soaked in a special wash tank or a vat, or hold a quantity of washing solution. Next is the washing sanitizing procedures. Sanitizing the surfaces of dairy apparatus, utensils, and equipment involves certain well-defined steps, that is drain, rinse, wash, rinse, sterilize, drain, and dry. Initial draining removes some of the product or soil residue loosely adhering to the soiled surface will be flushed out with the rinse water. Ordinary water is used for rinsing since it is plentiful and inexpensive. This rinse water might be warmed slightly to soften and remove fat along with other residues. Cold water hardens the fat and causes it to adhere more firmly to the surfaces. If the rinse is too hot, however, it will harden some of the non-fat soil, making it more difficult to remove later on. The wash water is warmed to a temperature the hand will tolerate for hand washing, or to a temperature near boiling for mechanical washing. The wash water shall contain the selected detergents in the concentration appropriate for the particular cleaning task. Washing involves the use of both chemical and physical forces. The chemical properties of the detergent in warm or hot solution when in contact with the soil is the chemical force. The manner in which the detergent solution and physical forces are applied must be regulated according to the soil involved. Soaking softens and dissolves fractions of most soil. After washing, the wash water or detergent solution is drained out and the cleaning surface rinsed with the clean warm water to remove remnants or traces of both the soil and the detergent solution. The order of the steps which then follow will depend upon the choice of sterilants. The problem with using a detergent which contains a sterilant is that the assuring the rinse which all follows washing does not defeat that what the sterilant accomplished. For the final rinse, water which is microbiologically clean and is therefore not a possible source of recontaminate is required. Separate sterilization might follow the use of a detergent, even one which contains a sterilant to assure a microbiological sanitation. When hot water or a solution of chlorine is used, draining and drying follow the rinsing or the sterilization. When steam is used for sterilization, as in the mechanical can washer, it should be dry steam to facilitate the evaporation of any moisture adhering to the cans. When properly used, steam helps dry the can as well as sterilize it. The direct use of steam for sterilizing bottle is not advisable as they susceptible for breakage, thermal shock. Many variations in the washing materials and cleaning equipments will be employed and sanitation procedures will differ with the type of the soil and type of the equipment being cleaned. Hope you all are satisfied with this session. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University Jaipur. If you have any query, please mention it in a comment box. I will resolve them whenever we have a live session. Thank you so much for watching this video.